I want to play Ron Wyden talking about how RFK is apparently putting money above the health and safety of children. Oh my gosh, what a bastard. He doesn't care about children's safety and health. Watch.
That Mr. Kennedy has embraced conspiracy theories, quacks, charlatans, especially when it comes to the safety and efficacy of vaccines. He has made it his life's work to sow doubt and discourage parents from getting their kids life-saving vaccines. It has been lucrative for him and put him on the verge of immense power. This is the profile of someone who chases money and influence wherever they lead, even if that may mean the tragic deaths of children.
So, Jason, I'd just like to, on the topic of placing money above the health and safety of children, I'd like to just go through some of Senator Wyden's donors.
Nice.
Let's see, $1.5 million from the health care industry. Donors include Molina Healthcare, who you're going to be shocked to hear this, Jason, actually has some vaccines on the market. They are a vaccine manufacturer. Quest Diagnostics Lab Testing, who only get richer the sicker you get and go out and get tests. And Novo Nordisk, who is, of course, in the diabetes industry. So you're going to be shocked. So yes, Senator Wyden, let's talk about conflicts of interest. Let's talk about placing money over the health and safety of our children. Why, Jason, do you think that these senators may not want RFK investigating Big Pharma?
Billions and billions of dollars. I think. I mean, doesn't Big Pharma, in conjunction with HHS, all the other organizations that are supposed to be protecting our health, that's got to dwarf every other budget that we have in the federal government. Mm-hmm. Of course, they would be coming after him for this, and it just cracks me up how they're like, "Oh my God, conspiracy theories and blah 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 blah. Things are going amazing." Wait, are they? Again, look at the facts and figures. We've never been this sick. We've never been this disease-ridden. It's insane. So the one guy that comes up and is like, maybe we should try something different. Maybe what you're doing is failing. And they're screeching at him like banshees.
Right.
Insane.
Right. So let's get to the screeching. Let's get to the screeching. On that note, let's get to Elizabeth Warren, who, of course, again, this is a dog and pony show. This is all for the theatrics.
Please tell me you have her donor list as well.
Oh, I do. I do. So this was, I'm not quite sure that she thought out this line of questioning, because at first she was like, well, how do we know that you're not going to take money from big pharmaceutical companies? Ma'am, have you met RFK Jr.? Here's some of that.
Commit that when you leave this job, you will not accept compensation from a drug company, a medical device company, a hospital system, or a health insurer for at least 4 years, including as a lobbyist or a board member.
Can you just repeat the last part of the question? Can I commit?
You're not going to take money from drug companies in any way, shape, or form.
Who? Me?
Yes, you.
Oh. I'm happy to commit to that.
Okay, good. That's what I figured. I said it's an easy question to start with. And I think you're right on this question.
I don't think any of them want to give me money, by the way.
So it sounds like Liz Pocahontas is very concerned with people who may be in positions of conflict of interest receiving money from Big Pharma. But then she decided to attack him from the other side. And she was like, yeah, but are you going to go after the pharmaceutical? I don't know. I can't make sense of it, Jason. I'd love to see if you could. Here is that exchange. Watch.
I want to know if you will commit right now that not only will you not go to work for drug companies, you won't go to work suing the drug companies and taking your rake out of that while you're a secretary and for 4 years after. It's just...
I'll commit to not taking any fees from drug companies while I'm secretary.
No, I'm asking about fees from suing drug companies. Will you agree not to do that?
You're asking me to not sue drug companies, and I'm not going to agree to that,
Senator.
Senator.
Drug companies as much as you want.
I'm not going to agree to not sue drug companies
So
or
what's the
anybody.
question, Liz?
I'll comply with all the ethical guidelines.
That's not the question. You have said
You're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, you are. That's exactly what you're doing.
Look, no one should be fooled here.
Oh.
Secretary of HHS, Robert Kennedy, will have the power to undercut vaccines.
Oh, okay. So she's very, very concerned until she's concerned about suing the vaccine manufacturers. You know what? Let's take a look at her donors, Jason. I wonder if there's any conflict of interest here with Elizabeth Warren. Survey says, yes, of course. She takes $748,158 donor dollars from the healthcare industry, $125,000, almost $126,000 from pharmaceuticals, $108,000 from hospitals, and she has also accepted a donation from Beverly Sackler, a member of the family that owns Purdue Pharma, the maker of OxyContin. But she wants to talk to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. about any potential conflicts of interest. These people are laughable. These people are disgusting. They act like they care about the health and safety of not only American children, but Americans everywhere. And meanwhile, they are profiting off of these pharmaceutical companies and pretending like the science is settled. By the way, anyone who knows anything about science would tell you the science is never settled. That's kind of just like a component of science. There's nothing that's settled. We're constantly figuring out new things that we didn't know before, but they want to just maintain that RFK is, of course, the one with the conflict of interest. I want to play one more for you here, Jason. Nevada Senator Catherine Masto. She has received over $460,000 in the last 5 years from Big Pharma, and she was on the committee as well. And I'd love to play for you this exchange with the highest recipient of big pharmaceutical money on the committee from the Democrats, Catherine Masto's exchange. Watch.
You keep citing the Trump administration and you're just going to follow what they say. Is that what you're doing? You're just a rubber stamp for them in this position? So anybody, so it doesn't matter that you're before us. It could be anybody coming before us as long as they're a rubber stamp for this administration and disregarding
That's how it
your
works,
beliefs
dummy.
and what you think. I
how
guess
it
my
works.
question to you is, if it really is fundamental to what you believe, how do you live with that?
By the way, I believe she's
How
talking
do you
about
address
abortion.
those issues as you're moving forward,
You want me to
knowing
answer
that
the
it's going to
question,
harm
Senator?
Americans? Yeah.
You want me to answer the question?
No, I'm asking you.
Okay.
Can he answer?
President Trump has asked me to end the chronic disease epidemic and make America healthy again. Our ship is sinking. Our 60% increase in Medicaid over the past 4 years is the biggest budget line now, and it's growing faster than any other. And no other nation in the world has what we have here. No other nation has a chronic disease. We have the highest chronic disease burden of any country in the world. We had, during COVID, we had 16% of the COVID deaths in a country. We only have 4.2% of the world's population. We had a higher death count than any country in the world. And when CDC was asked why, they said it's because Americans are the sickest people on earth. The average person who died from COVID, American, had 3.8 chronic diseases. This is an existential threat economically, to our military, to our health, to our sense of well-being. And it is a priority for President Trump. And that's why he asked me to run the agency. And if I'm privileged to be confirmed, that's exactly what I'll do.
Well, first of all, Catherine, all of these people serve at the pleasure of the president. So yes, he will be following President Trump's guidance because that's kind of how this works. He's his boss. But secondly, let's pull up just a full scope of who she has received money from. $2.7 million in her time there from the healthcare industry. And Humana, okay, health insurance company, Grail, a cancer company, Regeneron Pharmaceutical, they do the monoclonal antibodies, Pfizer, you know who they are, and HCA Healthcare, among others. So you tell me who you trust in the quest for truth, okay? A man who has dedicated his life to uncovering why America is so sick, and a man, by the way, who in doing so had his entire family turn their backs on him because they couldn't stand that he was going against the grain. So who do you trust? An independent broker here who's just trying to get to the root cause, or a bunch of lapdogs for Big Pharma going in there knowing that they have a job to protect some of their highest donors? Who do you trust in this battle for truth, Jason?
The absolute ridiculousness of asking someone like RFK Jr. if they're going to receive kickbacks or money from some of the people that he's criticizing, when you know so well, and what you already showed up on the screen, that at the same time they're saying that, they've already been receiving basically stipends the entire time. That is borderline evil behavior right there.